Have you given your heart to Christ? Have you given your heart to Christ? And have you given all of it to Christ? Those are questions we look at this morning. Have you given all of it? If not, why not? If not, you can do it right here, right now, in our service of worship. Give your heart to Christ in order to receive back the heart of Christ, the compassion that's a part of his heart. If you give your heart to him, he'll give his heart to you. And when he does, you'll become a part of the compassion movement that's always been the essence of Christianity. The compassion that showed us the cross will begin to drive our lives. Some statistics that I don't normally like to put in front of people because we tend to react to them with, well, I can't do anything about that. That's way too big a problem. Somebody else has to deal with that. I have no skills to deal with those kinds of issues. So I don't like to put these statistics in front of you, but they are real statistics from our world today. And I have to ask, are you okay with the fact that 25,000 people in our world today die every day from malnutrition and starvation? I'm not okay with that, but I mean, are you okay with that? That's something that we can't physically do something about from here unless we contribute to the Presbyterian Presbyterian Hunger Program through One Great Hour Sharing. That's a way in which we affect that. There are, what is it? Okay. From drinking contaminated water, a child in our world dies every 21 seconds. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with the fact that we still have residents who've been out of their homes in Geneseo for 36 days? No, I'm not okay with that. Those are the kinds of things that we can impact through the heart of Christ. God knows each of these statistics faces, and it breaks the heart of God, what's happening in our world today. And it ought to break our hearts as well. And it ought to move us to action on behalf of those issues. If you are in Christ and Christ is in you, you can't be okay with these kinds of things in our world today. If you are a Christ follower, you have been drafted into an army of compassion to serve somewhere in our world. We have to identify where. And we have to identify what is the passion that God has given each of us. We're going to talk about that. As we begin to grow in our relationship with God, we begin to feel the same things that God does. We sympathize with others. We experience breakthroughs in our sympathy that result in compassionate action. There's a difference between sympathy and compassion. Can anybody tell me what they think it is? Sympathy and compassion. This isn't a trick question. Yeah.
Well, I would guess that compassion involves something beyond sympathy, involves love and identifying with the person directly, giving him or her your heart. Whereas sympathy is, oh, that's too bad. It's a pretty shallow.
Okay. Compassion takes it a step further into action. Okay. As long as we're clear about that. Most of us let what we cannot do keep us from doing what we can do. I need to say that again. Most of us let what we cannot do keep us from doing the things that we can do. You know, we can't go to Africa and take nets to help African children stay free from malaria. And most of us don't have the means or the capability to do that kind of thing. But you know, we can go and do the kinds of things Scott's been doing for the last month or so, and cut out insulation and paneling and put up drywall and electrical and carry stuff from a trailer and put it in a dumpster. There are things for unskilled as well as skilled folks to do out there. Our head, as I said before, our head gets in the way of our heart. We say we can't do that, and it keeps us from doing what we can do. We also say things like, it's not my responsibility. I'm not ready. I can't make much of a difference anyway. Now, those are the kinds of things that our head says, that our heart should learn to overrule. If God is speaking to your heart, don't let your mind get in the way. That's something I never would have said 5 years ago. If God is speaking to your heart, don't let your mind get in the way. Not that we shouldn't count the cost. We do need to count the cost. But sometimes loving God with all of our heart means listening to our heart as compared to our minds.